provides an update regarding the latest on the Man United takeover. Erik Ten Hag has finally got Ruthless kicking 4 sources out the clubs for leaks and speaks out about that this morning. We've also got a bit of transfer news coming in, and then we got an interesting story about sort of Ralph Rangnick's message to Ten Hag amid the leaks and problems at Manchester United. So please do smash that like button. Of course, subscribe down below if you're new. Share the video, and let's get right into it. So we're going to dive through the takeover news because it's boring. We're going to get this out of the way at the beginning of the video. But it was said the documents will be signed next week for Jim Ratcliffe's 25% stake in United, and that Blanc is ready for the Man United CEO job, and that Jean-Claude Blanc is very close to becoming the United CEO. Richard Arnold's left. We know that. Blanc's coming in. Bish, bash, bosh. Romano said, look, it's going to be signed next week. This is from Romano. Romano isn't one of those journalists that's been telling us for 4 weeks, it'll be done this week, it'll be done this week. Romano's like, from what he's hearing, it will be done next week. Bish, bash, bosh. And he said, look, it's always been a matter of if, not when, with Jim Ratcliffe. And because they've done a lot of groundwork, he's saying, like, the Premier League ownership thing that's normally 8 weeks after takeover announcement could be 3 or 4, which means it could be ready in time for January. Which, I mean, I don't know if we're going to buy one in January or not. We'll dive into that in the takeovers, in the transfer slide. But it was also said by the Mail Sport that Sir Jim Ratcliffe did not ask Richard Arnold to leave Manchester United, but Arnold knew the writing was on the wall and decided to announce his own decision to leave on his own terms before the end of the year. John Murtough is keen to work within the new setup when Ineos start moving into Old Trafford next week. So essentially what's basically been said is Arnold knew he was gone, so he went and left anyway. Murtough knows he's gone, but he's not leaving. Essentially, I think the reason Arnold went and Murtough didn't is because Arnold, with the whole Mason Greenwood situation, caused a lot of friction, had a lot of fallout with staff. So these last few months for Arnold haven't been good, whereas Murtough is actually liked within the club, but he will probably eventually go for, of course, Paul Mitchell. But apparently Arnold wasn't that Jim Ratcliffe sacked him. Arnold knew that Jim Ratcliffe was going to sack him, and his relationship with the club was bad. And I think that just helps United bring in Blanc. I think Arnold's knew the writing was on the wall. I did a video in September and I said, look, I'm hearing that Arnold is going to be sacked because of the whole Greenwood situation. August, I think I did that. And I think ultimately probably is mostly influenced by Ratcliffe coming in, but I think it would have happened regardless, to be honest, because I know a lot of behind the scenes things happen sort of with Arnold. It was also said that Sky Sports chief reporters Sky Kavanagh, Samuel Lucas of the Manchester Evening News, and the Mirror's David McDonnell and Rob Dawson were all blocked from Ten Hag's press conference yesterday. And the United statement was that the club has taken action against several media organisations for not publishing stories we don't like, but for doing it without first contacting us to give us the opportunity to challenge or contextualise. We've had the media spinning this negative narrative around United, making out the problems are so much worse at United than they actually are, under so many managers, and the media really use it to pile on at the manager and create negativity around United with all these leaks. And Ten Hag's been brutal. He's finally had a laugh. He's kicked 4 out. He's kicked 4 sources out of the club for the leaks. He said, no, like, you are feeding the leaks. You are feeding the negativity in the press, which goes to the fans, which affects the mood, which also impacts the squad. You're allowing people to constantly leak to you. Come to us first. And I like that, because Sir Alex Ferguson used to do that if he was giving crap in a press conference. And Ten Hag said on this, they should have come to us first and not go behind our back printing articles. That's not the right thing to do. We have a good relationship. They come beforehand. We have a debate about it. And I think Erik Ten Hag actually banning people for being involved in leaks might actually say to the media, stop making a career of writing negativity about United and write some actual bit of information. I mean, the other day I was saying, oh, look, Man United are under investigation because of some raw chicken. That was actually a story The Athletic published because it gets clicks because it's United. Anything negative about United gets clicks. And like, Ten Hag knows that. An interviewer literally said in an interview with him last week, oh, we love it when you're failing. And Ten Hag says, I don't care, because the media will pile on. And I'm glad that they've been banned. I really are. In terms of other info surrounding the leaks and stuff, it was said by United NAD, United District, a few other people, that they got an important update. And they said 4 players in particular, Bruno, Varane, Maguire and Shaw, have been leader figures throughout the whole time, rallying the squad and are very annoyed at the constant false stories. However, they're keeping the squad focused and determined to get our form back. Now, the interesting name mentioned was Varane, and I'm not surprised, to be honest. He's a top professional, always has been. Bruno, Maguire, Varane and Shaw, I know, are the, sort of the 4 leaders. I also know that Martinez is a bit of a leader and Eriksen's a bit of a leader, but they're absent. I know that those players have always been leaders within Man United. Luke Shaw's always been a bit of a leader, Bruno, Varane, Maguire, and apparently they're the ones that are having a go at players for leaking and trying to get the squad back on side. Some saying that they're annoyed about the Sancho situation in terms of how other teammates are responding to the Sancho situation by taking it out on Ten Hag, but that was just a rumour spread by one of those aggregator accounts. So I'm not really interested in reporting on that. It was also said by by Fabrizio Romano, that Ten Hag spoke to players to send a message of unity following media leaks. The club continues to support and protect him. So it's saying that Romano's saying the club's going to protect Ten Hag. I think banning full journalists, I think, is a sign of protection towards Ten Hag. I actually think that this is the one manager that Man United are going to give a bit more time to, because I think those at the top of Man United have sort of waken up to realise actually maybe these players are the problem, because every 2 years they have a problem with every manager. And I think we knew the players were a problem once it got to Rangnick. Mourinho has a reputation of having problems with players, so has Van Gaal. Ollie comes in, he's got a problem with the players, but we're like, okay, his tactics were crap. But then when Rangnick comes in and the players have a problem with Rangnick and it got awful, I think that's when a lot of Man United fans woke up to the fact that actually these players don't give a damn, these players don't give a crap. And I actually think that as bad as things are at the moment, I think that the club will back Ten Hag because of the credit in the bank he put after his first season, winning the cup, getting third place, because I think the club is actually waking up to say, look, these players are a disgrace, the media's a disgrace, maybe we need to protect our manager more. Maybe new ownership, they're going to be brutal and sack him and do what Todd Boehly did, or maybe new ownership's like, yeah, we need to give our manager more support. We need to back our manager because this will happen to the next manager and the next manager. They'll get gobbled up at this club. In terms of like the January window and stuff, there was a few reports that we're going to make a move for Todibo. I'd love us to make a move for Todibo, but again, I don't know what the chances are of that happening. But a new report has come out from Dean Jones saying that United are interested in Lille centre-back Lenny Euro, who's 18, and scouts have been watching him. I think we're going to bring in two centre-backs. One could be experienced, one might be quite young. I think that is United's plan. So I will keep an eye on that, but that's the first link to him. And then, of course, we've got more reports about us having talks with Girassi in the last few hours. I mean, 15 million release clause. I think nearer December, we'll have an idea about who that is and where he might be going. Following into our final story, Rangnick's message to Ten Hag. So what has Rangnick said about Ten Hag? So this is what Rangnick said just before Ten Hag joined United when he was asked about Ten Hag and if things are bumpy on a Ten Hag, would you give him stick? And Rangnick says, I can only tell you from what I've seen and what I've heard and experienced so far. Erik is a good choice, a very good choice. He has shown in the past. I'm pretty convinced he's the best possible coach you can get right now. As I said earlier on, one of the few things that is crystal clear, you don't even need glasses to analyse and see where the problems are here. And he said, basically, the problems aren't the bloody manager here. He's crystal clear. You don't need glasses to see it. He said, hopefully Ten Hag will have a chance to mould a new team together with the scouting department and together with the board, which is necessary. Have they done that? Not really. And for me, the most vital part is the club's managers to get in the right and best possible players, change the attitude and also the energy. I think we need a positive energy for the new team. The energy isn't positive, but we'll get to that. And this is also important for the new manager. And if he gets that, we spoke about other clubs that were in similar position as United 5-6 years ago. He said, so if the right lessons are being learned from what has happened this season, this could be one of the few good things about the season like we're going through. At least we know which kind of screws we need to turn for things to change. And if that happens, I mean, why should United not be able to be successful as those clubs, sort of City, Liverpool now? So it's not just about the manager's quality, it's about changing all things that have brought the club into this position that we're in right now. And I think that's a strong message by Rangnick. And he said this when he was Man United interim manager. He said, the one thing about this awful season is that we've learned that the players are basically a problem, the recruitment's a problem, the board's a problem. If Man United learn from their mistake, instead of sacking a manager every 2 years, he believes there's every reason for Ten Hag will be fine. He said, if things get tough under Ten Hag, get rid of the players, create a positive atmosphere, back him. Recruitment needs to change. And Rangnick was spot on with his assessment of the club. He absolutely was. Will United change? I don't know. Anyway, please do hit that like button. Of course, subscribe down below if you're new. Thank you for watching. See you next time. Bye.